Welcome back to round 8, race 2. We are again at Sonoma Speedway. Think outside the oval. And we are still with the Formula Lotus 51. This is race 2. We have 7 drivers. Cavallan has dropped out from race 1. And this is the starting grid. Darren Head, the leader, is also on pole position with at number 10. Followed by an excellent front row for Andrew Dalby in the 67. Diogo Silva, the winner of race 1, is in 3rd place, also in the 67. Peter Adrian, the number 1, is 4th. Scott Davely, starting from the back, in 5th. Diogo Almeida in 6th, and David Emge completes the top 7 of this race. It has been a difficult day for replays, as I had a problem with my microphone, followed by a problem with the internet that actually seems to me it's still problematic. Let's investigate this for a moment. Yes, no, it's fine. Okay, so we are going to see this race, and away they go. Or is it Darren Head? Darren Head, a good start from Darren Head, and here comes Diogo Silva. Diogo Silva has had a great start, and they're side by side into turn 1. We've got the problem already. We've got the problem there with the 2 drivers coming together. And actually, we also see some problem with Andrew Dalby from the front row. We are going to investigate what happened here, as Andrew seems to me he has not started. Oh, he stalled, and then goes Peter Adrian. And Andrew, is he going to get back into the race? The answer is yes. Oh, and then David Emge and Peter Adrian got together as well. We're going to have a replay of what happened there. Yes, Peter Adrian, remember, he hit the stalled Andrew Dalby. Lost time. Here comes David Emge on the inside, and I think they're just going to connect there, and into the wall they go. Diogo Silva is in the lead of the race. Diogo Silva is side by side, and they're going to go into turn 1 side by side, and there you go. Oh, and they touch, and they both spin. Disaster for Diogo Silva and for Darren Head. Where is he? Darren Head, is he back into the race? Yes, he's back into the race. Oh, gets hit by David Emge. That spins as well, and we are going to have to look at the replay of what happened here. Scott Davely is in the lead of the race, and we are going to see things from his perspective. Remember, he started 5th in this race, and he's leading after 3 turns. How did that happen? And we are going to see this from the start. And there you go. There is Andrew Dalby stalled. Peter Adrian hits him. There goes Scott into 3rd place already within a few meters. They're side by side. Who was in front? Diogo Silva is actually in front at this point, but then he has to leave space for Darren, and Darren goes on the outside, and he's actually ahead, and they just seem to connect. Yes, they just were in the same piece of real estate. They both go in different directions, and Scott Davely actually into the lead of the race. Oh, and this is David Emge. Oh, no way he could avoid that. He was off the racing line because he was actually trying to avoid Diogo Silva, who was coming back into the track. Oh, and also Andrew Dalby was involved in this as well. Let's look at this from David's perspective. He's on the outside. Here's Andrew Dalby, and then he's gonna lose it. Is he? Oh, yes, he definitely lost it. There's the yellow car coming in on this now. Oh, and he has to go offline, and then hits Darren Head and spins, and is actually down into 7th place. Scott Davely, what a start, as he is already almost a second ahead of Diogo Almeida, who was in 6th place and is now in 2nd. And Peter Adrian, despite that incident with Andrew Dalby, as he stalled in the grid, is up into 3rd. So nice battle for the lead emerging here. We are still on the first lap, remember. Diogo Silva is up to 4th, and crucially, he has retained track position over Darren Head. Now the gap is 7.9 seconds, almost 8 seconds. In fact, it's higher than 8 seconds. That is Diogo Silva's delay to the leader, Scott Davely. Now, Darren Head has lost more time. He's lost 16 seconds. Remember, he started from pole position. He's now 16 seconds already behind the leader, Scott Davely, and we're not even done with the first lap here at Sonoma. Now, end of the first lap. Here we go, and let's look at the leaderboards. As Scott Davely is going to complete lap 1 in the lead of this race. There you see it's already 2.3 seconds. Something happened with Diogo Almeida. Something happened with Diogo Almeida because he lost... he just lost position, did he? Peter Adrian coming from way behind, but outbraking the Portuguese driver. Yes, that was a good opportunistic move. Diogo Almeida has to leave him space, and Peter Adrian is up into second place by the end of lap 1. And crucially, this has given Scott Davely a gap to breathe a little bit, 2.4 seconds. As we now have a battle for second place. And the number 1 car of Peter Adrian is currently... and Diogo Almeida has lost it a little bit there. He has lost not any position, but he's definitely lost time. And let's continue monitoring what's happening with Diogo Silva and Darren Head. They are the closest championship contenders. Of course, Darren is a championship leader. Jorge Jesus is not here in this round. Kev Allen has dropped from race 1, so really crucial to see what happens between these two drivers. Scott Davely is also very standings, but not necessarily challenging for the championship, as Diogo Almeida tries to recover a bit of ground to Peter Adrian. Peter doing a good job there, maintaining that position. We are almost done with lap 2. And here, and that's the yellow car already there of Diogo Silva. Definitely getting a bit closer to these drivers. Yes, he is 7.4 seconds from the leader, but he's getting closer to Diogo Almeida and to Peter Adrian. Let's look at the race leader, as he is about to complete lap 2 out of 10. Scott Davely did a 2:03 on the opening lap. Let's see what's his underlying pace in this car. He crosses the line and we are checking the clock. It is a 1:55.8. That's a very good time indeed, and actually much faster than Diogo Almeida and Peter Adrian, that are now together battling for second place. But 1:58 for both drivers, 1:55.6 for Diogo Silva, who is now just a couple of seconds behind Diogo Almeida, and we can see a battle emerging here for third place. Darren Head, Darren Head has lost time. Something has happened to Darren Head, and we are going to find out what it was, because it's very unusual that Darren Head has done such a slow time here. And Andrew Dalby in front of him has also... so we are going to see what happens with Darren, and then we are going to also fast forward to see what happened with Andrew there, as they both seem to make a mistake somehow. Now, where did Darren make his mistake? It was... it was there. He spun, did he? He just spins too much entry speed, and Darren Head, disaster, as he loses more, another position, but crucially loses more time as well. Comes back into the race now, 23 seconds behind the leader, and it's becoming a tall order for Darren Head. Now, what has happened to Andrew Dalby? Because we saw him going out as well, off the track, that is. Nothing seems to indicate that he's struggling. And then, this is definitely too much entry speed, but he somehow controls it. That was actually quite beautifully done over there by Andrew Dalby. And, it's here, is it? No, he's drifting through the corner. No, he's drifted a little bit too much and hits the wall. Fortunately, no damage, but, and he spins several times. He comes back into the race, he loses a position to Darren Head, so Darren Head actually recovers fourth position. That's Andrew now rally crossing his way back into the track, but has already lost a position to Darren Head, who's now in 5th spot. Scott Davely is running very, very fast indeed. 1:55.8 on lap 2. Now we are on the 3rd lap. Peter Adrian retains 2nd. Diogo Almeida 3rd, but crucially Diogo Silva is already not too far away from Diogo Almeida. And can Diogo go up into 3rd place? Darren Head maintains 4th, and Judalby is now 5th. No, Darren Head is 5th. Oh, Diogo Almeida has gone off. I was saying Darren Head is 5th and then Judalby is 6th, but now Diogo Almeida has made a mistake in that long descending left-hander, and Diogo Silva is ever closer to a podium place and is not that far behind 2nd place. Peter Adrian continues to lead this pack. We are going to remain with this trio of drivers because I sense that something is going to happen here. Diogo Silva really getting close to Diogo Almeida. I wonder for how much longer is the Portuguese driver will remain ahead of the Portuguese driver. He makes a small mistake there. He's a little bit too wide, and here comes Diogo Silva. No, he's actually lost time in that corner as well. So another lap to be complete, and Diogo Almeida oh, Diogo Almeida hits the tires. He hits those random tires that are there in the last corner and loses 3rd place. Diogo Silva is up to 3rd. Let's look at the lap times. The leader Scott Davely 1:57. That's not particularly quick. Peter Adrian 0.2 of a second faster, and Diogo Silva only 1/10 of a second faster than Peter. Now Diogo Almeida in 4th place, and where is Peter Adrian has something has happened to Peter Adrian as well. So he spun the car, and and something has happened to Scott Davely as well. Scott has had an off. Peter Adrian has lost it, but so did Scott Davely, Mr. Consistency, that never makes mistakes. There you go. And there you see that. Oh, he just lost it and hits the tires big time. But was Peter Adrian actually trying to avoid Scott? Because I think that, there you go, Peter crosses the line. Now he is going to see Scott spinning. Yes, he saw, and then he lost it almost in sympathy. He lost the... and he presses the reset button, but... oh dear, Diogo Silva with all of this is up into 2nd place by lap 4, and he is only 1.8 seconds behind Scott Davely. So all sorts of action here at Sonoma. Scott Davely retains the lead since the opening lap, but we are not yet at the midpoint of this race, and he has a 1.6 second lead over 2nd place man Diogo Silva. Diogo Almeida is back into 3rd place. Darren Head is up to 4th. So Peter Adrian has lost a lot of time with that spin, and we are going to... oh, that's not the end of the story. I think he spun again. Oh, and that's when Darren went by. Peter Adrian, right after spinning here in this corner, just loses that number 1, misses the barrier, but there you go. The car on the grass is just, sliding, knocks down that 50-meter sign and loses another position to Darren Head, that's now up to 4th. Oh, and loses it again. He's lost it 3 times in the space of 3 corners. A disaster for Peter Adrian that started the race so well. Was in 2nd place, now he's down into 5th. And Andrew Dalby is only 5 seconds behind. And David Emge is 32 seconds behind the leader. Let's go back to the race at the front, as Diogo Silva is actually now under pressure. Oh, Diogo Almeida spun it! Diogo Almeida has spun again in the same spot. This is too much entry speed, it's not the curve, and there goes Diogo Almeida, loses the position. We are going to check if Darren Head is going to be ahead of Diogo or not. There is Diogo Almeida. Can we see Darren now? I think he's still well clear of Darren Head, but crucially has lost touch with the top 3 or the top 2. So the battle for the lead is now reduced at the halfway point to only 2 drivers, Scott Davely and Diogo Silva. But I suspect more mistakes are coming from a few more drivers. Now the gap at the front is 1.6 seconds. Diogo Almeida is in 3rd place, 10 seconds down the road. There he is, the number 74 Classic. Oh, and he spins again, does he? Oh, yes, he does. Now press the reset button, but where is Darren Head? He's here. Darren Head is ahead. Darren Head is up to 3rd, and everything seems to be sorting itself out for the championship leader, as he is now 15 seconds behind the leader. That's probably a bit too much to recover in half of the race, but you never know with mistakes. But crucially, he's not losing that many points to either Scott or Diogo at this point, and will retain a comfortable championship lead ahead of the last 2 rounds if the race ended now. Of course, it has not even reached the halfway point, as Scott Davely continues to lead, and now the gap has reduced to 1.1 seconds. But this is the first lap, I suspect the first clean lap that we are going to see from both these drivers as they battle for the lead of this race. Scott Davely, that number 8 car, and Diogo Silva in the yellow car as they now complete lap 5, and that is the halfway point, and we are going to see the leaderboard. Look at that weight transfer, under braking, heavy braking for the last corner, and Scott Davely is going to complete lap 5. He's led all 5 laps so far. That's already 10 minutes of racing, and let's look at the clock and see what's the underlying pace of the race leader. It is a 1:55.7, but Diogo Silva almost a second faster, 9/10 of a second faster. The gap is under a second. It would be DRS distance if these cars had DRS. They don't even have a rear wing, let alone DRS. They are not that quick, these cars, but they are certainly very hard to control. And Scott Davely is beautifully holding on to that lead. He's only made 1 mistake so far, which is a spin in turn 1. Diogo Silva, of course, had that coming together with Darren Head at the start. Darren Head, by the way, is 55.1, so he's quicker than Scott, but he's crucially not that much quicker. So I don't think that at this pace Darren is going to be challenging for the top 2. Diogo Almeida is 4th. Peter Adrian is coming back at Diogo. Peter Adrian is coming back. He's done a 1:56. Diogo Almeida has had another problem, which was which we couldn't quite catch, but the 2:09 is definitely not a fast time around here. Peter Adrian very close to 4th place. And Dalby is actually not that far behind in that other 67, as he now is trying to recover a bit more ground. David Emge in 7th place. There he is in that very famous number 43. Let's go back to the race lead. They are going to complete another lap. Look at this heavy braking by Scott Davely in the last corner, and we are going to go on board a little bit with the American driver as he completes another lap. The clock will say what the difference is. Less than 7/10 of a second. Scott Davely does a 1:57, not particularly quick. Not particularly quick time by Diogo Silva either. Retained second place, but look at that. Diogo Silva is trying to get a clean pass, but not really in a position to do so because he's a few car lengths behind Scott. We are on lap 7, still 4 laps to go, including this one. Diogo Silva, this would be an overtaking opportunity, but not quite. Third place man is Darren Heads. We're going to go trackside again. Let's see how the battle for fourth place is going. And Peter Adrian is still very close, 2 seconds behind Diogo Almeida, but still not in a position to pass. Lap 7, we are at the back hairpin, the double apex corner. And Scott Davely is driving beautifully because Diogo Silva has had zero chance so far to make a move, despite the fact that he is very close to the American driver. Another lap is going to be in the books. There's going to be 3 to go at the line. Scott Davely, can he win this race? Can he do his first ever Old Folks Racing PlayStation Championship win? He's won special events before, but he never won a race in the actual championship. He's got a lot of podiums. He's a little bit the Martin Brundle of Old Folks Racing PlayStation. Now, can he hold on for another 3 laps? Now the gap is closer now, is closer than it has ever been. 4/10 of a second. 4/10 of a second, and we are on lap 8. But Scott Davely still maintains the track position. He's doing enough so that Diogo Silva is not able to outbrake him at any point in time. Now this is allowing Darren Head to actually get closer as well. 13 seconds the gap to third place man. There he is. But remember, we only have 3 laps to go, and Darren is still now 12.8 seconds behind. And it seems to me that Darren is flying, but is not going to be enough to join this battle. Diogo Silva is continuing to pursue. Something has happened to Peter Adrian as well. Something has happened to Peter. He's lost time. He's done a 2:03, and Diogo Almeida has done, and we are going to figure out what was that, because certainly that seems to have killed the battle for 4th spot. And we are going to see where. Oh, it wasn't here. Was it? Well, it was still. Well, it was not at the S's. It was not at the hairpin. So I wonder exactly what has happened to Peter Adrian. Oh, it was in the left-hander, and that's a classic one. You just brake a little bit too late, and off you go. Complete 360. Doesn't actually lose a lot of time, but loses a lot of momentum. So he was a couple of seconds behind Diogo, and all of a sudden he's 10 seconds behind. So let's use this time to make a bit of a roundup. 6th place man Andrew Dalby has had a very fast lap indeed, 1:56.7. That's faster than anyone except the top 3. He is a bit behind Peter Adrian, so I'm not sure he's going to be able to get there. And David Emge in 7th spot. He's already a minute behind the leader. Scott Davely has started the 8th lap. And where is Diogo Silva? He seems to be a bit far behind. No, he's 0.6 of a second behind Scott. As we enter the closing stages of this race. And Diogo Silva does not seem to have a response for Scott Davely's pace. Scott very consistent. He's driving the racing line. He's not outbraking himself. He's not cracking under pressure. And that is crucial at this point because not the easiest track and car to pass. The car isn't very quick, but it's not very easy to outbrake another driver. It may well be that this is going to be decided by some mistake or another, but so far Scott Davely, apart from that spin, has been absolutely magnanimous, as he is going to very shortly complete the 8th lap, so 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go, and Diogo Silva is ever closer, but not close enough to just dive into the last corner. Scott Davely has made a small mistake there. Maybe this is the opportunity. Look at this. Diogo Silva is right on his tail. He's right on his tail. Can he keep the momentum through this penultimate corner? And they are going to finish lap 8. Diogo Silva is close but not close enough. So definitely close but no cigar situation. Oh, Diogo Silva has lost it there. Diogo Silva has lost it, and this is it. This should be it. Oh, Diogo Silva, what has happened to him? Under braking. Lost the car. Did he? Oh, he just hits the tires and presses the reset button very quickly. But what is the gap at the line? The gap at the line is going to be more than 3 seconds, and Scott Davely surely now has this one under control. Lap 9, and the gap is 3.8 seconds. Scott Davely is a couple of laps away from his first ever win. Darren Head closer than ever. He's only 11.9 seconds. Look at that. He's done a 1:54.898. That is the fastest lap of the race. Diogo Almeida remains 4th, Peter Adrian in 5th. The gaps in the midfield are more or less stable, so definitely it is here at the front that we had the closest battle. But, well, now, wow. Diogo is coming back at Scott. The gap was 3.8 seconds at the line, is now under 2 seconds, but will he have the time to make a move? Because Scott Davely is now at the back hairpin, and he is going to be 1 lap away, a few corners from now, through the Davely apex there. Everything smooth for Scott Davely. 1.7 seconds. Diogo Silva is really coming with everything. He knows that, and Darren Head is absolutely flying as well. Only 9.9 seconds now. A few more laps and surely Darren Head would be part of this battle, but Diogo Silva is really coming with everything, because Scott Davely, does he have a problem, or is he just driving conservatively? Because the gap is again under a second. Under a second. Diogo Silva is coming with everything, but now he has only 1 more lap to go. Who is going to win this race? Scott Davely is still the leader, but Diogo Silva in that yellow car is now 0.5 of a second behind. The clock will tell us what the laps were, and Scott Davely is a 1:58, not the greatest lap. Diogo Silva 1:54.486. That's the fastest lap of the race for the Portuguese driver, and now the gloves are off. It is the last lap of the race, and Diogo Silva will have 3 or 4 chances. The first chance will be in a couple of corners. It seems to me that Diogo is too far behind to just make a dive, but he's gaining. Can he make a dive here? It seems to me that he's too far behind. Yes, he is. Also a very, very tricky corner. Very easy to lose your composure and spin. Now the second opportunity is going to be in the double apex hairpin as they go through this very long left-hander. It is the last lap. The gloves are off, but Scott Davely still crucially retains a few car lengths of a lead now. It seems to me in this hairpin that Diogo Silva is again too far behind, and Scott Davely is going to go into the S's as the race leader. And crucially, he is going to go into the S's. Just a few more corners to go. Can he retain the lead? Can he do it without making mistakes? Diogo Silva is 0.6 of a second. He has been closer. He has been closer before, but now he's got one last chance to go. He's really close. It's only 0.2 of a second. But will he keep the speed in this corner? It seems to me that Scott Napoli is here. Comes Diogo Silva now. Can he outbreak the American driver? The answer is no. Scott Napoli is going to win. Scott Napoli is going to win. It's going to be almost like a photo finish, but Scott Napoli is going to win his first Old Fox Racing PlayStation. As this is the checkered flag, and Diogo Silva will have to settle for second place. Third place is going to be Darren Head. And what a lap, 1:54.4. That is the fastest lap of the race. He finishes only 5 seconds behind Diogo Almeida. After some troubles in race 1, is going to have a good result here with 4th spot. But Peter Adrian is coming at him very quickly indeed. As Diogo Almeida... Oh, does he lose it, Diogo Almeida? Yes, he's lost it in the last corner, but he still retains 4th place. 5th is going to be Peter Adrian. 6th is gonna be Andrew Dolby. And 7th is going to be David Emge. We're going to follow the last few meters of the race with him on board as he is still completing a few more corners in that number 43 car. What a race this has been. We had excitement, we had drama, we had a bit of carnage on the first lap. We had very good recoveries, and we have a very good feel-good story. Scott Napoli making his first win, hopefully the first of many wins for the American driver, and David has lost it now in the last corner. It's not the last corner, but it's in the last few corners. He's not going to miss out on any track position because he's the only driver running at this point, but he's going to complete the race in a 7th spot, and we are just going to follow him to the line and complete coverage of this round 8 of Old Fox Racing PlayStation. The winter season, the winter 2022 season is coming to a close, and Darren Head still has a